All right, continuing on with chapter 28. I said I found this article online about these two guys who ended up sitting next to each other on a plane. They looked identical. And then there's the one about the movie star who everyone thinks is a vampire because their picture of him is a picture of a man who looks just like him from World War One. We lost interest in Mom and plopped back down in our seats. I know what happened, Connor suddenly declared, making Zion jump in his seat. There's a portal up on the hill, and you go through that portal while you're wearing that necklace that you found, and you go back in time to 1973. While you're there, you have your picture taken. Connor looked extremely proud of himself as he barked and said, "That's it. I've totally solved it. And then you could run into your grown-up self at any time, so you better be careful." "Why do I have to be careful?" I asked him. "Is my grown up self dangerous?" "Well, clearly," Connor said. He looked at Zion for confirmation, and Zion nodded. "Yeah, I'm pretty scared of grown up Avon. Why would she just come back and tell us all about this? And she's wandering around somewhere. I mean, you remember us, wouldn't you?" Zion asked me, like I was talking about this being actually true. "Maybe she's dead," Connor said. I smiled at him. Rodeo clown mafia. Totally, we giggled. I stuck a piece of popcorn in my mouth with my foot and chewed. I really love this whole story, especially since this magical portal makes my arms grow. Connor's face fell. "Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that." "You never know what a magical portal might do," Zion said, and Connor's smile returned. I decided to take advantage of Connor's good mood. "So you're coming to the festival, right?" And I asked him. "I already told you." I know, I said. "I just thought I'd double check." "Well, you can stop double checking," Connor said, "because the way I look at it, the only way I'm going to go into that crowd would be if someone like tied me up and dragged me there." Zion grinned at Connor. "Don't give her any ideas." Zion seemed to know me pretty well. Okay, chapter 29. I opened the front door to let Connor in, and he trudged into the apartment. His shoulders were slumped. He looked so depressed. I thought he might burst into tears. "Is everything okay?" I asked him. He shrugged, and I couldn't tell if it was the tic or if he was deliberately being evasive. He leaned against the wall, not looking at me, and he let out a bark. "My parents are taking a big fence out of the rodeo arena so the food trucks can get through. I've been working on that stupid report for language arts for school." He just stared at the kitchen floor. "Hey, guess the name of the band we got to play for the festival," I said, hoping that he could snap out of whatever funk he was in. And he shrugged again. "It's called the Flapjackaroos." I laughed. "They normally do gigs like at the Waffle House and stuff, but I guess the country western breakfast entertainment business isn't booming, so we got them to the festival real cheap." He still didn't look at me. "Is everything okay with your mom?" I asked. He finally spoke. "Yeah." "Did something happen at school?" He didn't answer me, just barely shook his head. Hoping I could cheer him up, I said, "Hey, I have a surprise for you." He followed me into the living room, and I sat on the edge of the small couch, my guitar at my feet. "Sit down," I motioned with my head for him to sit beside me. He dropped his backpack on the floor and flopped down the couch with a big, dramatic sigh. I plucked at the strings with my toes for a second and adjusted one of them. I took a deep breath, willed my pounding heart to slow down, and began to play. I had practiced Moon River every day for the last month, but I still managed to hit a wrong note here and there. It sounded okay, though, and Connor was completely quiet as I played. Completely quiet. When I finished, I looked at him. "You didn't tick the whole time I was playing," I said almost in a whisper. Like I spoke any louder, it would shatter the fragile quiet, and Connor would unroll all the ticks he had bottled up while I played. I had thought he would be happy, so I had finally played for him after all the times he had asked me to. But what I saw was a tear in his eyes. "Maybe you could bring the guitar to school and follow me around playing music everywhere I go." A single tear escaped and ran down his cheek, and then I could stop being called a freak. In my whole life, I had seldom felt like I was missing out on anything by not having arms. Some of the only times I'd ever wished for them were during those fleeting moments of frustration when my shirt got caught around my neck, or some insensitive person tossed something at me without thinking, only to have it bounce off my chest or my head. But at that moment, as I watched the tear slide down Connor's cheek, I felt the true loss of not having arms, because I couldn't reach over and wipe it away, and I wasn't about to do it with my foot. What's wrong? I asked, and Connor shook his head. I could never do anything like that, he whispered. Sure you can. You can play the guitar. I'll teach you. No, he wiped his cheek. That's not what I meant, Avon. You don't understand. It's like it doesn't even matter that you don't have arms. You still play the guitar, and you go to museums, and you go to restaurants, and you do all kinds of stuff. And I can't do anything. I can't even go out in public. Of course you can. Look at all you've done lately. Going to the meetings and the movies and coming here all the time. You can even come to the festival. You can do anything. No, I can't, Connor snapped, jumping up from the couch. I won't ever be able to do anything with my life. I won't ever be an actor or a politician or a teacher or anything like that. Geez, I can't even go to the movies without renting the whole theater. My mouth hung open in disbelief. Why would you want to be a politician? My great-grandma would have been appalled. I could just see her raising her wrinkled fist in the air, warning Connor about the coming revolution. Connor gazed back at me in such sadness in his eyes. You want to know why I was so upset when I got here? I nodded, yes. His ticking was getting bad again. He shrugged his shoulders manically as he spoke. I walked to the store before coming here, and I wanted to get some gummy bears. I gaped at him. You stopped at the store by yourself for me to get me gummy bears? I know it sounds silly, but this was like an equivalent of him going to Antarctica and back to bring me a feather from a penguin's butt. He shrugged to get the words out now. And I saw someone filming me on their phone. My stomach dropped like it did when I rode a roller coaster. What? Yeah, Avon, they were filming the freak. I shook my head slowly, not wanting to believe it. Maybe they were just doing something else. No, they weren't, he yelled. You see, I can't do anything because I'm a freak. Next week, I'll be on YouTube, like with a bunch of snarky comments about, oh, what a psycho I am. I'm never going out in public again. Not in school, not in the meetings, and I'm not going to your stupid festival. Stop it, I tried to calm him down. You're not a freak. No more than a freak. No more than me being a freak. You can do anything you want. Go ahead and become a politician if that's what you want. What is stopping you? This, he cried out as his ticking continued unabated. I shook my head. No, you're just upset because some jerk with a cell phone. You can do anything, Connor. And you're unrealistic to say that I can do anything I want. I know your parents have led you to believe that you can do whatever you want, but it's not true. You can't be a basketball player or a surgeon or an astronaut. I glared at him. Why couldn't I be an astronaut? Because I'm a girl? Because you have no arms, Avon, he shouted at me in exasperation, like he was revealing some shocking secret I hadn't already known. I gritted my teeth. Don't tell me what I can or cannot do, Connor. Oh, really? Well, what's that supposed to mean? How come you won't play the guitar at the festival? How come you won't eat in the cafeteria? I chose not to play the guitar in front of the people, and it's not because I can't. I don't believe you. I glared at him. We're supposed to encourage each other, Connor. That's what friends do. I'm sorry about that disgusting person who was filming you at the store, but you have no right to tell me what I can't do because of your disability, he finished for me. Because you're disabled, Avon, like I am. I stood up to face him. I don't know why I let you. I don't know why I let what Connor said infuriate me so badly. I had been called disabled before. People had referred to my disability 100 times, but it was like he had used the word to insult me. I could feel my bad temper rising and taking control. I swear, if I had arms right now, I'd punch you right in the face, I cried. I am not disabled. I am abled. Why are you so mad, Connor said. I'm just stating a fact. I'm disabled. You're disabled. Everyone in that stupid support group is disabled. I'm just telling it like it is. Fine, Connor. Go tell to someone else and don't come back, I yelled at him. Fine, he said back. Connor could barely get the word out because it's ticking.